I remember it like it was yesterday. The paramedics brought a 90-year-old great-grandmother in and put her in this very bed. And she was covered in bed sores, and there was a feeding tube sticking out of her abdomen. She was dying. For years, actually, she'd been dying a slow death, but because she hadn't left any directions, her family had made medical choices that had led to this level of unnecessary suffering. But that day, she was actually dying. The infection from the bed sores had gotten into her bloodstream, and it was overwhelming. So I brought the family into this very room, and we sat down. And this is what I told them. I said, this woman, who's your mother, your grandmother, and your great-grandmother, she's dying. And we have two options today. I can try to create a peaceful death for her. We can allow her to die naturally. And you can be in this room and you can hold her hand and say, thank you, I love you, and goodbye. It can be peaceful for her and it can be peaceful for you. And the other option is that at the moment that she stops breathing or her heart stops, I can put a breathing tube in her and start performing CPR. In the very frail and very elderly, people like your grandmother, this means I'm going to crush her ribs. This will crush her chest wall. And I don't believe I'm going to be able to restart her heart. And if I was able to, there's no way this would bring her back for a meaningful existence. What do you think they chose? CPR. This was a terrible death. I remember it to this day. And the sad part is that this happens every day in hospitals across the nation. Be careful, or this could happen to you. Ultimately, I think this poor woman suffered in the state because she had not had end-of-life planning conversations with her family. And then out of guilt and fear and love, they made medical decisions that created and prolonged this unnecessary suffering that I saw. If you don't make plans for yourself, this case scenario could be you. You see, there's a hidden humanitarian crisis going on in modern America. The default medical pathway is what I just described to you. But 90% of Americans say they want to die at home, peacefully in natural surroundings, among people they know, in a comfortable environment. But the sad truth is nearly 80% of us die in medical institutions, predominantly hospitals, and many people die like this woman I just described to you. Don't let this happen to you. This is why Christian and I have written this book, It's Okay to Die. In the book, we chronicle from A to Z all the problems and solutions in modern America regarding end-of-life planning. We can help you avoid this for yourself and those that you love. Don't face your end of life without having read this book. Finally, to get the word out and to educate millions of Americans on their end-of-life options, we need your support. To really transform end-of-life care and to stop this unnecessary suffering, we invite you to be our partner. I'm Dr. Monica Williams Murphy. Please join us.
The hardest work on our project is over. Now we need your help. We've spent a year writing our book, It's Okay to Die, and we've already printed and distributed over 1,500 hard copies. Now our Kickstart project is designed to get the book distributed to tens of thousands of American individuals and institutions. Our goal is to ultimately make sure that every American has the opportunity to prepare an effective end-of-life health care plan. There is no simpler plan than the one presented in our book. With so much animosity between the two main political parties, it's no wonder the D.C. politicians can't seem to get anything done. Part of our Kickstart project is to contact and distribute copies of the book to all members of Congress and the White House. After the recent Supreme Court decision on the health care reform law, we know end-of-life health care planning is now needed more than ever. We want both President Obama and Governor Romney to agree on one thing, that every American should prepare their end-of-life health care plan. After all, when you're taking your last breath, it will not matter whether you're a Democrat or Republican.